Welcome to Courtside, everyone, a discussion of the post-election litigation brought by Donald Trump. We are day 34 after the election. That means we're getting close to 50 Trump losses, that is. The court count stands at 1 out of 49. Trump has won one case. And that one, I forgot what it was. So I looked at Mark Elias's website. Mark is a national hero. He's been litigating these cases. That one case involves shortening the cure deadline for certain rejected absentee ballots from 9 days to 6. It had, as Mark says, no impact on the outcome of the election. Zip. Today, Georgia's on my mind. They certified yet again, after 3 counts of votes. Biden's 12,000 vote victory remains unchanged. Georgia officials continue to push back against Trump's ridiculous claims, and it's really moving to me that these are all Republican officials. Country over party. I'm proud of them. Take a look in particular today at Gabriel Sterling, who last week gave such an impassioned speech about how the president had to speak up and condemn acts of violence because people are going to get hurt. This guy is the top voting implementation manager in the state, and he's a Republican. Today, he hosted something he called Disinformation Monday, where he was debunking the ridiculous claims about ballots being in suitcases and stuff like that. In Michigan, the judge blew out the Kraken case brought by Sidney Powell. This one, like Stefan, has it all. It was denied on mootness. It was denied on official immunity, on latches. That's the idea that Sidney Powell didn't sue in time. On abstention grounds, that there are state proceedings, so you can't have federal ones. The judge also said there was no legal standing, no right for these folks to bring their claim, and she said it was unlikely to succeed on the merits. This lawsuit and decision today is kind of a microcosm of the entire Trump strategy over litigation nationwide. Like, you look at this case and think, damn, I didn't think there were so many different ways I could lose a case. I mean, hats off to you, Sidney Powell. On the merits, the judge found the suit to be, and I have to read this to you, quote, stunning in its scope and breathtaking in its reach. She described their allegations about voter tampering and malicious software as, quote, an amalgamation of theories, conjecture, and speculation that such alterations were possible. She added the court would lack the authority to overturn an election, and she said in conclusion, plaintiffs asked this court to ignore the orderly statutory scheme established to challenge the election and to ignore the will of millions of voters. This the court cannot and will not do. The people have spoken. End quote. In Georgia, the other Kraken case was also dismissed. That was another suit brought by Sidney Powell where she made similar allegations of communist voting software, Hugo Chavez, and all that stuff, and tried to block the state from certifying its results. That went nowhere. The judge actually ruled from the bench today, which is an exceptionally rare thing. Last litigation action is the Pennsylvania Supreme Court case, which is now at the U.S. Supreme Court, and we've talked about that over the last couple of days. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court's going to take up the emergency application from the Trump folks to try and stop Pennsylvania from certifying the electors. Now, there was a little movement in the case today because finally a real lawyer volunteered to help Donald Trump in this litigation. Senator Ted Cruz said he was ready to and willing to argue the case if the Supreme Court agrees to hear it. Now, before you laugh, Ted Cruz is truly a real lawyer. He's argued a bunch of Supreme Court cases. He clerked at the Supreme Court the same year I did. You can dislike his politics or love him or whatever, but he's actually a really good lawyer. Nonetheless, it's not going to matter at all. This lawsuit has so many flaws, you could resurrect Daniel Webster from the dead and ask him to argue the case and it wouldn't help. So I don't think it's going anywhere. We should get some news. And tomorrow is the safe harbor day. That's the day when Congress has said that state electoral slates are valid and virtually impossible to challenge. The Electoral Count Act passed by the U.S. Congress says that if state resolution comes in by December 8th, that, quote, shall be conclusive and shall govern in the counting of the electoral votes as specified in the Constitution. So tomorrow is a really big deal. And with or without Pennsylvania and that litigation going on, Biden already has 279 votes. That means, yes, you've heard it before, you're hearing it again, It's over. I mean, this thing is really over. It's as over as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. See you tomorrow.